being in California, but I had some real strange happenings down in California. I was down the Pacific Coast Highway, down just south of Ocean Beach, San Diego. And I walked into a bar one night, and I didn't think it was too strange at first with all these guys in there until I was playing this video machine. And I was playing this video machine all the time. I felt it right in the backside. I turned around to this guy, and he says, "Boy, you play this pretty good, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." I got done playing it. And he said, "Say, would you like to dance?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm in here for another guy." And he gets upset. And he looks at me and says, "Well, we wouldn't want to get you." So it's kind of strange in California. I know one thing I found out. Went to a restaurant. They showed me this. In San Francisco restaurant, this is immediate seating for 4. In San Francisco. Don't worry about that. So I stayed out of that restaurant. I had a lot of fun out there in San Diego. But I'm a little more casual tonight. What we're going to be doing, by the way, we're going to be taping this for Group W Cable out of the Duke. And later on this summer, some of you happy people are going to have a chance to see yourself once again on the screen. Well, like I said, I'm going to be introducing a friend of mine. I got an introduction from Mr. John Winter. Some of you might have heard of John. John is originally from the big metropolis of Hanover, Illinois. Big metropolis down there, Douglas County. And he's been performing now for the past 2.5 years. John's personally doing a lot of work in colleges and comedy clubs. And occasionally John has an opportunity, well, I have an opportunity too to have John open for me. He's opened for me now probably about 40 or 50 times. Primarily around the Midwest, but he not only stays in the Midwest, he goes all over the United States. He's played comedy clubs on both clubs, or on both coasts rather. He's a regular performer at a comedy club down in Cedar Rapids called Hollywood. And earlier this year, he opened for Showtime's 1985 Comic of the Year, Mr. Phil Lee, who also was opening for Mr. Rich Hawk. Some of you might have heard of Rich Hawk on Saturday Night Live. And on occasion, he opens, like I say, for myself. So why don't you help me give Mr. John Winter a big hand. Come on up, John.
Good evening and welcome to the Blue Chip Lounge. Very nice to see you here. We have a really action-packed show. If you've ever seen Jim Wan perform, I'm sure you're in for another treat tonight. But first, a word from our sponsor. You know, folks, when I first started going out with gals, I was worried about my sexual protection, but then I heard about the Big Mac Prophylactic by McDonald's. Now, all my worries about sexual diseases, they're taken care of in this tiny little package. So the next time you're in for that burgers, fries, and Coke, or just the next time you need a little protection, don't forget the Big Mac Prophylactic by McDonald's. Over 24 billion served. And girls, you've heard about it. You've read about it. You've probably said to yourself, will it give me the kind of protection that I need? Well, the answer is yes. But don't take my word for it. The next time you need to be protected, get the pad the stars use. Brooke Shields. And my wife came right out and told me my teeth were dingy, and I was worried. Then I heard about new Dopal, the dope smoker's tooth polish. With Dopal, my teeth got whiter and whiter. You see, Dopal has a fast-acting ingredient that helps fight and dissolve those stubborn THC stains. So if addiction is your teeth yellow, get Dopal, the dope smoker's tooth polish. And for you opium and hashish connoisseurs, there's new maximum strength Dopal in the green tube. And if constipation has you down, get quick relief in an explosive kind of way with new Blowout. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend new Blowout for the relief of constipation. You hemorrhoid sufferers, check with your doctor first. Thank you. Good evening. What, Weight Watchers got out a little early? We said, let's go down to Blue Chip and have a good time, yeah? Ooh, so cruel. So cruel so early. I always make a little bit of fun of commercials because for ever since I think that I could remember, they've always irritated me. And it's been one type of commercial after another. This band deodorant commercial, I don't know if you've ever seen this or not, where it says, when the pressure's on, you stay drier. And it shows the woman with her arms back up like this, you know, like we all do when we're under a lot of pressure. And I thought, you know, really, now I thought some of these commercials, they might just be telling the truth. I mean, what if you're not listening? What if you miss out on that all-important message? You know, this secret deodorant, where the guy comes in and he doesn't have his own deodorant anymore, and he says, "Gosh, honey, I don't have my deodorant. I think I'll use your secret." And she says, "Well, gosh, honey, you just can't. It's got women ingredients. It's female. You just can't use it. You just can't use it." And, you know, I mean, I could just imagine if some guy in New Jersey didn't catch this commercial, went home, uses the wife's secret deodorant, wakes up in the morning with tits and lower abdominal cramping, you know what I'm saying? You'll love this part, dear. Can you imagine, ladies, if your worst nightmares came true and you finally went in to get that first gynecological examination, that first female examination, and you walked in and your gynecologist was E.T.? Ooh. These are not for sale, ma'am. These are not for sale. Clear that up right away. No, I kid you. I shouldn't make fun of that because I had a friend who was a gynecologist and he got in a lot of trouble because he used to carry his instruments around with him. Said he used to like to look up old girlfriends. Ooh. Get back. Get back. That was a bad one. I just went to my 10th year class anniversary, my 10th year reunion, and it was kind of exciting because I got a chance to reminisce with a lot of my old friends and a lot of people that I haven't seen for a long time. And now, girls, now don't make me resort to having to insult you in front of you, saying things like, "How did you get that sweater on over your mouth?" Or, really, I'd rather not insult you if I don't have to. But I went to this 10th year anniversary, and it was really something different because I started thinking about how traumatic high school was for me. When I graduated from junior high, and then I finally went to high school, I can remember Mr. Murphy, the principal, waiting there at the doors for me, looking at my past record in junior high saying, "Yeah, John Winter, well, we'll be seeing you for the next 6 or 7 years." It was kind of a demoralizing type of statement to start off with because I was always the kind of a guy that got picked on or that got beat up. You know, everybody was cruel. They would pinch my nipples really hard, you know, or flick me behind the ear with their fingers, or pull that little loop in the back of my shirt off. You know, it was always very rough on me. If I would have spent as much time studying as I did trying to stay alive, I'm sure I would have got all A's in high school. You know, it would have been a whole different story. But I always got in trouble for the typical things like putting my feet up on the desk in front of me, right? And the teacher would always say that idiotic question, "Well, do you do this at home?" And I would say, "Well, no, not really. I don't have a desk at home." You know, you want to think about it. And chewing gum. You'd always get caught chewing gum, right? "Do you have enough for everyone?" Well, no. So they take your gum. So then one day I thought, I'll bring enough for everyone, right? So I brought 48 packs of gum. I'm sitting there chewing my gum, got my feet up on the desk. Teacher yells at me for having my feet up on the desk. I get them off, and then he says, "Hey, do you have enough gum for everybody?" And I said, "Yeah." And he took it anyway. You know, it says something about bad habits. Teachers and bad habits. See, this cracks me up because I would walk by our teacher's lounge, and as soon as the door would open up, smoke would come billowing out. Teachers would come out coughing and hacking, chewing my gum. Okay, appreciate that. And my nephew, Joshua, he's just starting to go to school now. So it's kind of weird. It's weird to see how television, movies, things like this have really affected his life because for his birthday, I bought him one of these little toy Rambo kits, you know, Rambo survival kits. We had to take it away from him because we caught him out in the back suturing up a cat's arm. You know, I thought, yeah, really, I thought this would deter this kid, but, you know, instead he just put a headband on, ran around going, "Yo, Adrian," all day long, so it's just something to think about. I'm glad one person appreciated that. Now you know what I mean when we say, "Thank you." Okay. The kid is also kind of funny because I took him out to 7-Eleven for his birthday, gave him $3, and this is how television has affected him. It was like Wheel of Fortune. He goes, "I'll take the Mars bar for 20 cents, the Juju Beast for 30 cents, and the rest in a 7-Eleven gift certificate," you know, so kids are a little different. Kids are a little different. My own self, I'm a bachelor, 30 years old, had a great experience, just moved out of the house. Mom was happy about that one. And, yeah, you know, you guys, these three guys, you look like a bunch of pigs. You can appreciate these next comments, I'm sure. No, really, you'll admit to me, when you live at home, your mom and dad's house is all commercialized because when you live at home, your mom and dad's house always has that lemon fresh pledge smell. And then when guys move into their own apartment, it takes about a whole week and a half to get that "I forgot to flush the toilet" smell. All right? Okay, yeah, the women are going, yep. My mom won't even come over to my apartment. She says it reminds her of a pit. It's a pigsty. It's disgusting. It's revolting. Reminds her of Waterloo, you know. I don't know. Have to be. I used to say New Jersey, but nobody understood what I was saying, and now I just piss people from Waterloo off. So I said, what the hell, right? Couldn't afford napkin or toilet paper when I first moved into the apartment, right? Couldn't afford toilet paper, so I had to use napkins I stole from McDonald's. Then I got a little more sophisticated. I got a job so I could steal a roll or two from work, and that made it a little easier. But now I buy economical. I'm sure you two guys will know what I mean, right? You buy economical when you live by yourself and you're a bachelor. I buy generic toilet paper. Really, because it has two purposes. If you don't use it on your butt, you can sand your cupboards down. Right? Think of it. Ooh. Hemophiliacs will not use generic toilet paper. It's just too rough on them. Just too rough on them. Glass shards, aluminum foil, anything but that. Anything but that. My mother says, get married. Get married. Find yourself a woman and get married. But see, I've had terrible experiences dating. All my experiences have been hard when I dated a woman. I went out with one girl for 2 years. For 2 years I went out with this girl, and she never farted. Really, not one time. You girls are looking here like, well, we don't fart. Hey, I traveled with a woman in a car for 18 hours. You fart, believe me. No, really, this girl didn't fart. For 2 years, I never heard her fart. Then, on the day that I proposed, 2 minutes after this girl gets the rock, this sweet, delicate creature of God, this dainty piece of human in front of me suddenly erupts like Mount St. Helens. Let me have a, and she liked Egg McMuffins. See, that was the bad part about it. Oh, it was terrible. One girl I dated, she never shaved her legs or her pits. This is the woman of the 80s, you know what I mean? Hey, really, it was like when you had to share a bed with your brother. Oh, man. One woman, I thought I was giving her the ultimate orgasm. No kidding, fellas. She was yelling, screaming, scratching, biting, kicking, leg cramp. Thank you. You liked that over there, didn't you? See, you don't even got to be married to appreciate that crap. Oh, you are married? Well, sure. You're only saying that because we're on tape, I'm sure. No, it's terrible because the partying gets so rough. Because when you're a bachelor, and I'm sure when you're a bachelorette, you girls are sitting there with your butt wipers, I'm sure you know what I mean. You know, you go out and you get drunk. And I pulled a really brainer the other night, went out and got really hammered. Thought I was in a hot tub, shaving some chick's legs, drinking shots of tequila. Woke up with bathtub faucet marks all over my body, cuts all over my legs, and a half-empty bottle of Head and Shoulders. And no dandruff problem anywhere. It was amazing. It was amazing. But now I date one girl, and it's kind of nice, and she's an extremely beautiful girl. Very beautiful, very lovely person, except that she has a huge nose. Huge nose. No, really, I never would ever make fun of her before it, but we were at McDonald's the other night. I ordered 2 large fries, a burger, Coke. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear, and I only had 1 fry left. Okay, are you with me now? Really. I said, Maria, hey, am I the first guy you ever made love to? She said, well, I think so. Your face looks familiar. I took that as a compliment. You have to. Then I had a bad experience with her father. Oof. We were out drinking, getting really hammered. I said, hey, I know I'm going to be with her a little bit later on, so I went into the bathroom to get some rubbers, and who walks in but her dad? Lucky for me, he had a couple quarters. Whew. Had to think about that one for a second, didn't you? No, I'm really excited to be here tonight. Not excited, but I'm excited, you know. Ooh, you touched it. I did. It was accidental, though. Look out now, girls. You guys look like you're all ready for a good time, don't you? Oh, yup. See, you sit in the front and you put up with all sorts of kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? What's your name? Angie. And are you from Monticello? Are you? And do you work or go to school or? You graduated, okay. And hey, I'm sure that's a big thing in Monticello. Let's go down to the graduation. Bill graduated. He's only 34, but what the hell? Whoa. You're working in Phoenix. And you're like working the street, or you're working in Phoenix? No, I'm kidding. Hey, I didn't make fun of her boobs. Did I? Give me a break. I could have. No, I couldn't. I'm kidding. You have one of those sweaters on. It looks like it's 20 degrees below zero all the time. I like that. I'm sure we can hardly wait to hear this. What do you do in Phoenix? Work. Oh. It does sound exciting. Oh, I'm sure. You're a teacher. And what do you teach? Oh, so you love that teacher stuff, huh? Third grade bilingual education. Language arts. Is that what you teach? No. Really? Third grade bilingual education, is that, so that's more, huh? She's kidding. And you would know. And what's your name? Huh? So you have to speak up, dear, because I can hear you. Terry. And I suppose you live in Phoenix too? You live in Texas. That makes sense. And what are you doing back? Are you guys all from somewhere different now? Living somewhere different? And you probably all graduated because you all look over 25. I'm kidding. It's a joke. So is this, but we'll get to that later. I'm kidding. What do you do in Texas? You're a manager. Of what? Of a store. And what store? Of what? A department store. You two speak for each other. I see it. Okay. A department store. What department store? Marvin's? Mervin's. I'm sorry. Hey, I could piss in your drink from right here, so don't make me mad. Don't fuck with me, because, and I will. Yeah, she's sitting there covering it up. Well, like if I miss it, it'll get all over, and that'll be okay. Well, I'm really glad you ladies sat in the front. Mervin's. What the hell is Mervin's? It sounds like when you get your underwear pulled up behind you, you know, as a kid. That's a fun experience. It's a department store, and you are like the manager. Did that come from... No, I'm not even going to say. He goes, keep your legs closed, and that's... No, I'm sorry. That's bad. And you manage a department store, and you are from Monticello. Okay, we're getting a little closer to home. And what do you do? What's your name? Holly? Very nice. And what do you do in Monticello? You go to school in Iowa City. And what are you taking in Iowa City? Nutrition. Okay, very good. And you like it. So you'll be a dietitian or a nutritionalist? I think so, yes. I think so. And this is what, your 9th year? No, I'm kidding. And your name, dear? Christy. And are you from Monticello also? No. You're from Texas, so you came with her visiting. So this is probably the biggest thrill of your life, huh? Let's go to Monticello for the summer. Whoa, yeah. Those crazy vacation lands. No, what do you do in Texas? Do you work in Mervin's too? Do you? But you're not a manager. Yeah. You're a manager too. So really being a manager is no big deal. Is it? I'm kidding you. And you two, you're pretty brave. You're sitting in the front too. Are you married? Are you? And how long you been married? 3.5 years. See, the woman always answers because the guy goes, oh shit, I don't know. God damn it, I've been sleeping for 9 years, but I don't remember when I made it legal. No, I'm kidding you. And you have children? No children, so you're not actively married. Is what you're saying. I couldn't tell if you were married because you guys are sitting right close to each other, and that's nice. Well, that's very nice. They work at McDonald's? Do you really? In Texas. They work at McDonald's in Texas. Oh. The whole crowd said, let's fly into Texas. John Winter is going to be at the Blue Chip Lounge. What a deal for us. Okay. Do you work at McDonald's? No. Okay. Is there a McDonald's in Monticello? Huh? A Hardee's. Oh, one of my favorite. I made the mistake of coming in here. What is it, the wagon wheel? I got a bite to eat before I came to the show. Never had explosive diarrhea before, but... am experiencing that now. You can appreciate that, can't you? You like that. You work at a McDonald's? Can you see at McDonald's, a guy comes in, oh, I'd like 2 burgers, Big Mac, oh, French fries, oh, Big Mac, Coca-Cola, please. You know, comes over. I guess not. So, so he's totally ignoring me. Look, you know, now you got to pay attention up here. I don't come down to McDonald's and screw around with the French fries or nothing when you're down there. What's your name, sir? Scott. Okay. Scott. And I like sheep. No. Look, he isn't even denying it. I could just see riding around with this guy drinking a couple of beers. Oh, pull over, Frank. There's a couple of gals. Something a little different tonight. I'm sure Scott's nice, and I'll bet you're here to prove it. Aren't you? What's your name, dear? What is it? Say again. Helen, as in Keller. Well, I wish I would have said that earlier. That's the biggest laugh I got all day. No, that's good. Are you guys, you go together? You're married? See, I can't see. You're married. He's like, whoa, did something happen in the last 24 hours? I knew I got drunk last night, but I didn't think I married the bitch. Jesus. For 25 years, and you're going to give me a blowjob after the show, I'm sure. Right. Some things are a little hard to swallow, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, that's very good. That's very good. And this lovely couple beside you, not you two guys, the guy and the gal, the guy. It's Dale and Jackie. Okay. You are. And shit, you just know everything about everybody. Just the kind of gal you like to bring home to mom, don't you, you know? And this is Helen. Oh, God, you wouldn't believe it. We got on the stirrups, and he put my leg up here, and he put it on the stereo, and... This is my new wife, Helen. Got any Mazzola? Oh, what a fun couple. And you hang around these people? Jesus. You're a fun group? Well, I'm just sure. I'm just sure. Why not? And are you getting married? Well, congratulations. That's very nice. I think that's very good. You're getting married this, what, next year? In June. And how many children do you have? 10. Okay, typical Monticello family. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Are you both from Monticello? Okay. And you 3 girls, are you dating, or are you just... You laughed so hard at that, your boobs even went up and down. I didn't think you had any, but no, I'm kidding. I feel like an asshole. You'll do. No, I'm sorry. Look at, I'm gonna spit on him. Because if I gotta pull this out, somebody's gonna get a tooth knocked out, and it'll be... No, I'm kidding. You're very lovely ladies, very lovely, and I'm only kidding with you. But, look at, they're sitting there heckling themselves over there. I like that. What do you do, Helen, besides that? You're an inspector. I can just see it. A guy pulls it down, inspected by Helen, right on the inside. You got it. Yes, I'm sure. Doggone it, Helen, with those glasses, I could watch the entire show, right? Well, no, I'm kidding. And you're drinking beer? So you'll be a lot of fun later on. Huh? You are in trouble? Because this isn't really your husband, and he just walked in. Boy, I keep getting it. I'm afraid I'm going to have to see a doctor after I'm talking to you, Helen. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. It's good. And you, sir, back there with the horseshoe haircut, I'm sorry. I don't know. I make fun of people who don't have a lot of hair because I do. I don't know. And the gentleman you're sitting, no, the lady you're sitting with, I'm kidding. It's a joke. See, I'm kidding. It's a joke. You're married? Yes? No. All right. This is a big thrill for me, right? Are you from Monticello? Are you? Yep. He doesn't talk. He says, no, but I got a gun in here, asshole. Say one thing. Poosh. What a lucky guy I have tonight. And you three guys, see 3 guys here and 3 women here. See, it's just something not right. I don't know. Are you guys all from Monticello? No, you just said, well, shit, we'll come in from Cascade for a big night on the town. No. Are you from Cascade? It's like hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Jesus. So you guys, what, the cocaine shipment didn't come in? You said, let's go down to the Blue Chip. Oh. Guys going, nope, not us. What's your name? Gary. And what do you do for a living, or what do you do in general? You bartend? So, what, you probably get a lot of guys doing that, don't you? Or girls? Because you got that kind of fag haircut. No, I wasn't sure, but... And I saw when Jim was telling that joke about the stool, you just sat right up and said, oh, new seating here. No, I kid you. Jim Wan, you'll really like Jim Wan. He's a very, very good entertainer, has been performing for a lot of years. I'm sure I'm going to be back a little bit later on, I think, anyway. So I like to end with a quick joke that I always like to leave people with, because I think you always like to take one and tell your friends in the morning. And this is the joke about Jim and his girlfriend, and I'm sure he'll love me for telling this, and actually it's not much of a joke, but it is a funny story about the two. Jim's kind of a cheapskate, so that's the first thing I should tell you, and I always like to get him for this because frequently he'll ask me to come up and be hypnotized, and which I don't mind, so I always like to get one in on him. But he's such a cheapskate, he took his girlfriend out parking, right? Wouldn't even buy a motel for him for the night. Pulls off the side of the road. Now this is in February. What a guy, right? And they start to make out, and they're fooling around a little bit, and while they're making out, it starts to snow. Snow's 5 feet, so you get an idea of what was going on. And finally Jim realizes what's going on. Oh my God, it's 5 feet of snow all around the car. How the hell are we going to get out of here? So he turns the car on, says, geez, I'll at least give it a try. So slipping and sliding all over the place, almost gets out of there, but not quite. Says, geez, now what are we going to do? And his girlfriend says, well, geez, I don't know, honey. And he says, I got a great idea. Why don't you take all your clothes off, run back around behind the back of the car, stick them under the tires, and that'll give us some traction, and we can get out of here. And being the intellectual girl that she was, she said, okay. So she runs back around behind the back of the car, sticks her clothes under the tires, gets back in the car. Jim starts the car up again. Almost gets out of there, but not quite. God, it was really close. He says, now what are we going to do? And she says, well, geez, honey, it almost worked. Why don't you try it with your clothes? And Jim said, okay. So Jim runs around behind the back of the car, puts his clothes underneath the tire, gets back in the car, starts the car back up. Almost gets out of there, but not quite. God dang it, now what the heck are we going to do? And his girlfriend, the quick thinker that she is, said, well, geez, honey, I got an idea. I saw a farmhouse about a half a mile back up the road. Why don't I go back up there and tell the farmer that you're stuck? And Jim said, great idea, but here, when you get up there, be sure and cover your boobies with your hands. And here, take my shoes and cover your private parts so the farmer doesn't see it. And she says, oh, cool, okay. So she runs back up to the house, knocks on the door, bam, 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 and the farmer comes to the door and says, yes, miss, can I help you? And she says, farmer, my boyfriend is stuck. Do you think you can get him out? With my comedy career over, I will now end with my impersonation of a trumpet. Now every time I see somebody do impersonation, see, they turn around like this, but it'll still be me when I come back for you girls here who might not recognize me. See, it's really me. Okay, you got that. Thank you. My name is John Winter. Good night.
All right, people, grab your seats. People, it's your good fortune this evening to have once again appearing back on stage. For those new people who just came here a while ago, I have a very funny young man who's not only funny when he gets hypnotized. By the way, John's been hypnotized about 20 times. Very deep level subject. Fantastic young man. We're going to do a little more comedy for you. Why don't you help me welcome back Mr. John Winter. Come on, give him a big hand. Come on. What up, John?
Thank you. Jim Wan. You bet. John, we brought some old folks in. I like that. I like that. I have the funniest joke about a grandma and a grandpa. They're all high school funny anyway. It's a grandma and grandpa. They were on their way out to California. And they got pulled over in Nebraska by a couple of cops, right? They were speeding. And the cop goes up to the grandfather who was driving and he says, hey, geez, buddy, you know you were speeding? And the grandfather said, oh, yeah, officer, God, I'm really sorry. And the grandmother was really hard of hearing. And she says, what'd he say? What'd he say? And the grandfather says, he says we were speeding and I think we're in some trouble. And the cop says, well, you better let me see your driver's license. And grandfather says, oh, okay. And the wife says, well, what'd he say? What'd he say? And he says, well, he wants to see my driver's license. And grandmother says, well, okay. And the cop says, oh, you're from Monticello. And, the grandfather says, well, yeah. And the grandmother says, well, what did he say? What did he say? And the grandfather says, well, he knows we're from Monticello. And the cop says, well, I went out with a gal from Monticello one time, and she was the meanest, irritable, lousy, crabby, rich, oh, geez. And the grandmother says, well, what did he say? What did he say? And the grandfather says, he knows you. Did you like that? I don't know. Nah, well, screw you then. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding you. Very good. So, did you enjoy the first part of the show? And I'm sure I probably proved that hypnotism is just a bunch of bullshit, right? One guy, thank you for that clap, sir. Okay, very good. And, I don't know, when did you guys folks are in? When I was out, like a leg.
If you'd like to be on tape, please
use this. How about you take this? Don't bend over. Huh? What? Am I turned on? I need to be turned on. Settle down. Huh? Not that kind of turned on. I never had anything this big in my hand before, so I...
Come on, John, just like pointers up there.
There you go, the audience is... I can't find it. Help. See? Jerome. Holy cow. All right, so we're ready for the second part of our show, yes? Yeah, you're ready. You're ready, are you? Did I pick on you the first part of this show? No? All right, very good. I think I'd like to get in your pants later on. I'm sure they wouldn't fit, so just forget it. I'm sure they wouldn't fit. And who said when I want to be turned on, who said they'd help me out with that? Is that you? That was you. That's disgusting. Huh? All right. Are you ready back there, Commander? And just a quick reminder, the second part of our show is brought to you by the makers of accident underwear. Guys, how many times have you come this close to getting laid? She's got your pants off. She's got your shoes off. She's just about to get you off, and she notices that troublesome little stain in the front of your shorts. Will never be turned down again with Conceal the Stain underwear. Yes, that's Conceal the Stain underwear. Yes, guys, don't be turned down at the last minute. Thank you. They had to be black in front? What kind of guys do you go out with, lady? Probably wouldn't matter anyway, wouldn't it? He's a farmer. He's a farmer, and he's got, what, grease all over his hands, and when he rearranges it... Shit, so like if I worked on an oil rig, it probably wouldn't make a difference anyway. He's a farmer. Is that you, sir? You have black all over the front of your... Only on the elastic. Don't try to fool us, lady. And so we had the 4th of July. Did everybody have a nice 4th of July? I was disappointed because I did have a nice 4th of July. However, when I went to Penny's the day after the 4th of July, they already had their Christmas trees, their Christmas baubles all up, so thank God we don't have to wait till just after Halloween anymore for that, right? Her? Helen or Virginia? Virginia. Hey, you told me you were Helen. Your birthday's the 4th of July. So your mom was ready for the explosion before, and so what she got was a little poop. You're up here, you said, my name is Virginia. I thought you said, I'm a virgin. I said, hey, this lady's lying. Hey, I saw your name all over that bathroom wall back there. I thought it was a special kind of wallpapering. And no. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You're a very attractive woman. I am not picking on you. I am not. Huh? You love it? I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do. This is a strange woman. We'll meet later, And you see that girl right behind you there, the really big knife, and... No, I make fun of my girlfriend being Italian, and I like telling or her father, I should say, Italian jokes, because, you want it just is a humorous story, but right from the very start, and I'm sure you can hardly wait. So is your name Virginia? It is. And what's your last name? Coke? Coke is it. Is that what you're saying? I'll bet you have hair on your nipples too, don't you? Come on. Come on, don't you? Tell me. No, I don't want to see him. No, thank you. I don't want to see him. That's terrible. That's terribly disgusting. What, you got a new guy sitting here beside you too now? Do I want to hear what your maiden name is? Oh, do we want to hear what her maiden name is? Big following. Well, I do. C-H-I. Well, what the hell does that say? C-H-A-C-H-I. H-A-K. Dumb shit. No, I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. I love to pick on the mentally deprived, and I should go for it for you, I'm sure. And you guys had a good time. You got hypnotized. And did you do anything embarrassing? You don't know. And these people are new. You're new. No? Not at all? All right. And these girls are talking up a storm, going to miss all the fun. Did you get hypnotized? No? No? And I know I talked to you before. I don't... Huh? Talk to who? The one on the end. That looks like a French fry. Let's all eat her. Okay. Ho ho. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's disgusting. What's your name, dear? Huh? Susie? And what does Susie do? I'm sure half the guys in Monticello can tell us, but... Huh? She flips hamburgers where? At Tom's Drive-In in Cascade. For this, I'm ruining my second show. Okay, well that's really exciting. Well, I'm going to tell you one more joke that you can take with you since I'm really in the mood for this. And that is a story about a guy in Virginia. I'm sure you'll really like this one because it's kind of about you, Virginia. It's about a guy that met an extremely ugly woman who had a lot of money. And I'm sure you do like guys with a lot of money, and I'm sure that probably means, what, $2 or $3 in their wallet at one time? Well, anyway, she was an extremely ignorant woman anyway, as well as being extremely ugly. And the guy says, well, gosh, you know, I don't know if I can marry this woman or not. I could try. I suppose I could put a paper bag over her head every night. I don't know what the heck. So he does marry her. And they have a pretty happy marriage. And it's about 2 years down the line, and this is just how the marriage was going. He says, geez, honey, we got a new picture. I want to put it up on the wall. So he says, how about get me the picture? So she goes out to the living room, get the picture, get the picture, get the picture. She comes back in with the picture. So now he's sitting there, he goes, oh gosh, now I need a nail. So she goes, okay, get the nail, get the nail, get the nail. She brings her back in the nail. Now he's sitting there, he goes, oh gosh, now I need the hammer. And she says, get the hammer, get the hammer, get the hammer. So she goes out and gets the hammer and brings it back in. So the guy's sitting there ready to put the picture up, starts hammering the nail into the wall, hits his finger with the hammer and says, oh fuck! And she says, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. That is really sick. That is really sick. Jim Wan, are you ready to go?
Yes, good.
That sounds really good. Okay, I'm sure, are you going to bring people back up for the second part of the show, wherever you're at?
Yes, good.
God, how come I can't get you to obey me like this all the time? Well, why don't you put your hands together, a nice warm welcome. Bring back Mr. Jim Wan.
Good job, huh? Give John another big hand. John is fantastic.